Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to introduce you to our show titled Speak of Africa. Before we begin, we have to say thank you to all our subscribers. Our numbers are increasing every day. You are subscribing. We thank you very much. And we just want you to share the show with more friends so that we can get more views. We have so much news breaking out in Africa today, and we're going to share this news with you right now. I know you're ready, so let's go. In Africa this week, the big news is the summit of the BRICS taking place in South Africa, in Johannesburg. The BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This is a new organization. It is designed as a counterweight to the old Bretton Woods system championed by the United States of America. As you know, after the Second World War, the United States emerged as a superpower. In fact, at the end of the Second World War, the whole of Europe was on her knees. Thanks to the Marshall Plan built by the US, Europe was able to be restored to its past glory. Okay? Similarly, Japan was wretched after the Second World War. Thanks to the US largesse, Japan was able to rebuild from the ashes. Okay? What was able to make this possible is the economic might of the United States. Because the United States had set up the Bretton Woods system, which basically maintained economic stability all over the world, created demand for products and services, and also served as a bulwark where currencies of the various countries can be exchanged. So the US dollar became the main fiat. Initially, we used to have what I call the gold standard. Then now we had a fiat system, which means we don't have to depend on gold as a measure of value. So currencies were using paper money. Okay? But with this paper money, if you want to buy goods and services in the world market, you have to exchange these services and products using the US dollar. And this is how the United States became dominant all over the world. Russia and some other countries have been trying for years to challenge the US hegemony. And there's nowhere you can see this challenge more in Africa. A few days ago, we were greeted with the news that Yevgeny Prigozhin, the mercenary who is the leader of the Wner Group, we hear his plane crashed. He was traveling, say, from Moscow to St. Petersburg. This guy comes from the same St. Petersburg as Vladimir Putin. He's one of the oligarchs, those guys who made so much money when Putin came to power, very, very rich. So they took advantage of government largesse, their connections with Putin to make money. But what really made Yevgeny Prigozhin special is because he cultivated very close friendship with Vladimir Putin. Some people call him Putin Chef. He started selling hot dogs in Moscow, then before you know it, he started building restaurants. Then when Putin was trying to conquer the world, to resurrect the old Soviet empire, he chose Yevgeny Prigozhin to create this private military company called the Wner Group, because he did not want any link between the Kremlin and some of these shadow organizations. Okay? So, what is happening? So, the BRICS now is on the economic side, but at the same time, Yevgeny Prigozhin is the way Russia uses the military contracts to get natural resources from Africa. This has been going on for a while. It has happened in the Central African Republic. It has happened in Mali. Okay, it has happened in other countries where the Wner Group comes in. They tell the country, if you're a leader, we're going to protect you, Mr. President. But in exchange, you have to give us your natural resources. What a Faustian deal. It's like you're making a deal with the devil. Now, with a lot of the news articles that were spreading around the world, people in Africa, in most leadership positions, they have been exposed to the machinations of the Wner Group. And we've been talking about the Wner Group on this show almost every week for over 2 months now. So those who are not paying attention can see that our predictions are becoming true. So now you had a BRICS meeting in South Africa. Brazil, the president of Brazil attended. What about Russia? Well, for Russia, Vladimir Putin, as much as they say he's a bold guy, he could not attend this meeting because the West was hell-bent on arresting him. They put pressure on Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa. They said, if Vladimir Putin attends this meeting in South Africa, we're going to arrest him. If you don't arrest him, you see what will happen to you. So Cyril Ramaphosa was in a very tough position. He had to warn Vladimir Putin not to come to South Africa. And eventually what happened? Vladimir Putin blinked. So you see now that Vladimir Putin is a coward. If he were a tough guy, as he claims he's a tough guy, why did he not go to South Africa and attend this meeting of the BRICS? President Modi of India was there. The Prime Minister of India was there. Then, of course, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa was there. So Vladimir Putin was forced now to send his foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, to represent him. What a big fiasco. So the BRICS organization was even trying to recruit more members when they met in South Africa because they want to be a counterweight to U.S. hegemony in the world. So the dollar is still strong, it's waxing strong, and the U.S. is taking a lot of strategic moves to pigeonhole China because they know that China is growing, and people have predicted that China may become the next biggest economy surpassing the United States. And the United States doesn't want this to happen. So they've been taking a lot of strategies, maneuvering to make sure that China doesn't beat the United States to emerge as the world's largest economy. In the past, we've told you some of the trade issues China has been having with the US. Since the time of President Obama, you could see the way the US pivoted their attention from the Middle East to Asia because they want to contain China as a world power. Because China is very, very dominant now in Africa. So if you look at Africa, China is everywhere. China trades with a lot of the African countries. Unlike a foolish Russia, China does not create trouble with America to a point of fighting. China focuses on trade. And that's where they are beating the United States, trade in Africa. China is winning the minds of Africans with their Belt Initiative. Okay, Belt and Road Initiative. They are using this like an octopus to go around Africa and take over the continent. So right now, when you look at a lot of places in Africa, China is dominant. China is building infrastructures, roads, airports, you name it. So the BRICS meeting now was very, very significant because a lot of other countries like Egypt, United Arab Emirates, they are trying to join the BRICS so that the BRICS can become more powerful. The most dominant thing about the BRICS meeting is that with the announcement of the death of Yevgeny Prigozhin, what is going to happen to Putin's army? We think this is going to be a setback. It's going to be a setback because some of the leaders in African countries have been trying to pull back, try to move away from the Wner Group and Yevgeny Prigozhin. It's an embarrassment because people now are showing Africans that most of your leaders who are with Russia, they are taking your resources and giving them to Russia in exchange for armed protection, military protection. So this is really something that should not really be new. You should know that Putin must have just taken things to a high level. But in the past, during the First Cold War, the Soviet Union was using mercenaries, was sending mercenaries to a lot of African countries. Look at like Ethiopia under Mengistu Haile Mariam. The Soviet Union was sending folks there. Look at Angola. The Soviet Union was sending mercenaries over there. But this time, what makes the Russian footprint in Africa unpalatable is the fact that Putin is a brute. He's taking Africa's natural resources in exchange for military protection unashamedly. That's the sad part that we want to let you know. So with the death of Yevgeny Prigozhin, what is the future? The future is precarious. What is the future for most of these African leaders who have been relying on Russia for military backing? And as we speak, Niger is there. We're going to talk a lot about Niger. Niger already has a coup d'etat, and we told you that they just decided to sack the French ambassador. They asked the French ambassador to leave their country, and that's part of the development. Then ECOWAS is still making moves to use military intervention in Niger. So even though things look on the surface to be really calm and poised, but we don't know the forebodings, what may happen in the future. We don't know what may happen in the future. When you look at Tinubu, Bola Tinubu, the new president of Nigeria, it looks like he is favoring a military response. The military junta is playing a cat and mouse game with ECOWAS, and Bola Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, is tired of this cat and mouse game. He wants to take action. And he is receiving a lot of pressure from the United States of America and France to do something to restore Mohamed Bazoum of Niger. That's what is happening. The pressure is too much. Next month, Bola Tinubu is going to be meeting Joe Biden, the president of the United States, at the UN summit in New York. Similarly, he's going to meet Emmanuel Macron in New York. So we know these world leaders are going to put a whole lot of pressure on Bola Tinubu to take action and reverse the coup that happened in Niger. Why are they so obsessed about Niger? We've told you this in the past. They are obsessed about Niger because Niger is the 7th producer of uranium in the world. And France wants this uranium so bad. France needs this uranium to power its industries and nuclear plants. We've said this many times. So it's not just because of democracy. ECOWAS does not care about democracy. The Western world does not care about democracy. So who are they really fooling? They are fooling you, of course, because they think you are dumb. Nobody cares about democracy. When constitutionally elected leaders abuse the Constitution, ECOWAS doesn't say anything. The United States doesn't say anything. France doesn't say anything. Instead, all these superpowers go to Africa and just ask for natural resources. So long as you, as a leader, you can give them your natural resources, they don't have a problem if you're killing your people every day. And this is what is happening in Ambazonia. Ambazonia has been a killing field. Paul Biya has been killing his people, first under the pretense of Boko Haram, then now under the northwest-southwest Ambazonia conflict. A lot of people are dying. Then even in the former East Cameroon, Biya's thugs continue killing people. But what is the international community doing? Nothing. So long as he's their boy, they're not going to do anything. So that's the hypocrisy of the international system. And we're bringing this to you, our friends and family. You need to understand, the international community is not a fair community. They only care about their interests. So it's a world where we talk about social Darwinism, the survival of the fittest, the law of natural selection. Only the strong survive. That's what Charles Darwin said in his book titled The Origin of the Species. So it's a very brutish world, just like Thomas Hobbes said in his book titled Leviathan. That's the kind of world that we live in. That's the Africa for you. It's a brute world. Might is right. They may talk about democracy, but they break democracy, which is why Vladimir Putin of Russia is making fun of most of these world leaders. They talk about democracy, but they don't follow the rules of democracy in Africa. So it's a shame. When you look at what is happening in Ambazonia, so many people are complaining. The killing goes on. Paul Biya and his people will tell you, oh no, we've won the war of Ambazonia, they cannot declare their independence. We've done with them, they are finished. We keep telling you that this is a lie. After Senator Mbelamoki came with Moja Moja to talk about the victory of La République over Ambazonia, it didn't take long in Mundemba. The Ambazonia Restoration Forces responded with fire. Fire, fire, fire. They killed a lot of gendarmes who were sitting and playing cards as if Ambazonia has returned to normalcy. Who told you Ambazonia has returned to normalcy? That's a lie. It has not returned to normalcy. On the surface, things look to be poised and calm, but the war goes on. It's still a killing field, okay? Then we'll take you now, you can even see that even in La République du Cameroun, the people, the opposition is there, and they're just poised, waiting for Mr. Paul Biya to kick the bucket. The war is going to be bloody among the clan of the Betis. You have the Ewondos, the Etones, and the Bulus. They're going to be fighting for power. So, and we understand Mr. Biya is still sick, and they have been taking him to Europe for treatment, and it looks like a military van was organized with medications just to prep him up. It was just like a medical lab, big one, just to prepare him for evacuation to Switzerland for medical treatment. Then, of course, we'll remind you about this guy, Titus Ejua. He too was also talking about the way Paul Biya has been manipulating the clans so that he can rule, divide and conquer. Of course, you may remember Titus Ejua. He used to be a very high-end minister in Biya's government. He was even, I think, the Secretary General at the presidency. But he fell out of favor with Paul Biya when he started expressing his presidential ambitions. Biya put him in jail. He stayed in jail for over 17 years. Now he has had time to reflect. We read a lot of articles, and we even read the interview he gave to Jeune Afrique, which is a popular French paper. He was just saying, Cameroon's future is bleak. La République has a very bleak future. So whether Biya dies the way Cavier Djibril has died, these people are not beautiful. The beautiful ones are not yet born. So it's really sad. Next, from La République du Cameroun, we take you to Congo DRC.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
Cyril, Congo DRC is the country of Felix Tshisekedi. Felix Tshisekedi is running for re-election. We think the campaign is on, and I think the elections will take place in December 2023. Of course, Martin Fayulu, the guy who won last presidential election in Congo DRC, he has said if the electoral system is not reformed, he's not going to participate in this election cycle. But Moise Katumbi wants to run for president. How is he going to fare with Felix Tshisekedi? Of course, in Africa, as we've told you, no incumbent ever loses the election. So Felix Tshisekedi is going to rig the election and he's going to win. Seni, the Electoral Commission, would favor him. That's how Africa works. You only have sham elections. So the leaders organize elections just for show. And that's what obtains in Gabon. Ali Bongo is just winning another election in that country. He wanted a Cameroon journalist to leave the country because he wanted to cover the elections. Okay? So you have some of the guys who are running against him. They are just wasting their time. Because for over 60 years, Ali Bongo's family controls the country. Since the death of Leon Bar, that country, and the oil wealth has just been siphoned by the French. The French keep enjoying all the oil wealth. It's the same thing, even like the Republic of Cameroon. We saw an article yesterday which shows that France still dominates the hydrocarbon market in that country. France gives La Republic of Cameroon wheat, but they take all their hydrocarbon for nothing. That's the sad thing. Next, we take you to Rwanda. In Rwanda, we have a story of Paul Kagame against the Catholic Church. We hear that Paul Kagame is against pilgrims who went to Kihelo to see the site where the Virgin Mary had appeared before some children. So people always go to Kihelo for pilgrimage. Paul Kagame is angry. Is he angry because this pilgrimage is bringing so many Catholics together and he's afraid that such large crowds may destabilize his regime? That's the only plausible reason we have. Why would a Catholic who understands the Catholic beliefs system, why would he be against people going on a pilgrimage? As a Catholic, he should know the canons of Catholicism. Okay? A Muslim should be the one who should be arguing about Catholicism. If you are a Catholic, you should know the rules of a Catholic as a religion. So we just know that Paul Kagame is just nervous. When he sees those big crowds going on a pilgrimage, he's nervous. He thinks these crowds may work to overthrow him. That's what he's worried about. So when you watch this, you say to yourself, Paul Kagame, you are a Catholic. Why are you against Catholics going on a pilgrimage? This beats my imagination. If a Muslim guy is, or a Hindu is against this, I would understand. But Paul Kagame is a Catholic. Why is he against the pilgrimage? Doesn't he believe in miracles? That's what Catholics believe in.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Finally, we'll take you to Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, we have another election. Emmerson Mnangagwa has just won re-election with over 52 point something % of the vote. But there has been intimidation, and the Western press and other Africans are complaining that these elections were not free and fair. Okay? So this is sad. The guy has won re-election. He did not allow the opposition to campaign. So is this a free and fair election? No. The election in Zimbabwe is a sham. A few weeks ago, we told you the people in Zimbabwe were dreaming of change. But can they believe in the change? Yes, they believe in change, but Emmerson Mnangagwa doesn't want the change to happen. He wants to force himself upon his people. So tomorrow, when you start seeing coup d'etats, are you going to complain? When you have democratically elected leaders use the constitution, use the army against the people, they declare themselves winner, they hijack the country and complain that, oh no, I'm the new president. So if you are the opposition, you don't stand a chance in Zimbabwe. You don't stand a chance in Gabon. You don't stand a chance in Congo. So that's the sad fate of opposition in this part of the world. The guy who sits in the office always wins. Nigeria is really an aberration because Goodluck Jonathan was a sitting president who was able to just say, yes, I will leave power voluntarily. So we really salute Goodluck Jonathan. All these African leaders are sit tight. When they come in, they don't want to leave. When they lose the election, they still declare themselves the winner. So this is really sad. And we say we salute Goodluck Jonathan of Nigeria for leading by example. Okay? So you see why the coup in Niger is controversial? Because Africans are faced with two choices: constitutional coups or military intervention. Which one is better? So it remains for you, the people, to choose. We are just your servants. Tell us in your comments, what do you prefer? Do you prefer constitutional coups by sit-tight presidents? Or would you like the military to intervene and take this president out of power the way they've done to Mohamed Bazoum in Niger? So it's for you to tell us. Make your comment and let us know. Thank you very much for watching our show. Bye-bye. May God bless you.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.